A tortoise fruit makes no sense, but we do have to print it, so let's see how to slice it. Alright guys, we are here with the tortoise body or turtle body. I don't know, we may have some biological terminology problems, but let's focus on what is our specialty, which is 3D printing. This is a common articulated model and I don't think it's so hard to print it, and I will start with the recommended layer height. I'm going to use my standard profile for 0.16 millimeters because I want some details in here, a good finishing as well. It's a small piece or regular size piece of print, so I think 0.16 it's fine. Another change that I may do in here is to change the seam position to here because I don't want the seam right in the face of the turtle, and also we have the shell of the animal, so it's going to cover the seam in this part and also in here. We don't have so much trouble doing it. So let's first slice it, and now let's see where are the seams, and I think it's okay, especially in here and also here. This is really good. In those parts it's fine, okay, and here too. The head is the only one that annoys me, but I think the best position could be right in the rear. I don't think anywhere could be better than this. So let's keep it. And now guys, just for you to know, I use two different types of printer. I use a beginner printer as an Ender 3 V3 SE, for example, and also I use a Bambu Lab P1S. For the P1S, I do use Brim for this type of print. I will show you in the Bambu Lab Studio as well. But in the Ender 3 V3, I don't use it because we have a really good addition, and this is also annoying sometimes because I have trouble taking off the piece from the build plate. But so I don't recommend you in this specific printer to do that, okay? So in this case, I will not turn on the Brim, but you could doing by in here, okay? Skirt and Brim, then you can put some width in here. Let's slice it again, and now we have more surface area for better adhesion in the bed, okay? But I'm not going to use it. And if you are having trouble, if you are a fan of using Brim, and if you are having trouble taking this off, we can enable this feature over here, which is the Brim separation gap. 0.1 is a good begin for testing this out. After I change this, we have some space between the Brim and the actual first layer, so it's going to be easier to remove. You don't want to exaggerate in here, because if you put a lot of space, for example 0.5, for example, the Brim is not going to touch the print. It's not going to help at all. So pay attention, 0.1, 0.15 is going to be good in here. As I am not going to use it in my Ender 3. And the last change from my standard profile is going to be in the filament settings, the cooling tab, and we are going to enable auto cooling, okay? I will put 10 seconds as a standard slowdown if layer print time is below than 10 seconds, okay? And let's slice it again, and I'm going to show you with the speed legend. After the body stops to print and we will have only the head being printed, I prefer to slow down a little bit because I want to ensure the cooling, and also as higher as it's going to take, it's going to be more unstable, so I prefer to reduce this a little bit to ensure the nozzle is not going to hit this point, and also it's not going to detach from the bed, okay? After we do all this preview part in here, and it's still going just the head, and if you're not ensured that this finishing okay, we will lose the entire print, okay? So I prefer to enable this option. And now we have the shell of the turtle, and let's first of all take this off. Let's put a lines, and I didn't do any changes. We can reduce this for 5 just for the tips in here, and let's slice it, and then we check what we need to change. Taking a look at the sliced file, I think we have some points in here that are going to be better with supports. We actually don't need it. The print is going to happen, but I'm a bit afraid of printed without supports in those regions in here. But I think I'm being too cautious. I don't know. I think we can do without supports actually. We can click in here and then in the brush for painting supports. And now we are going to highlight the overlaying regions. In here, I don't need supports and neither do I in here. But I was a bit afraid on these regions in here, like this one and also this one. It's almost parallel with the build plate, so it's extremely curled overhangs in here. But I don't think it's going to compromise the print. Look, we almost don't have contact in here. So I will not do that. I'm just showing you, and I would use the organic supports, but I don't think we need it. It's a really small bridge region in here. So guys, after testing and looking and how it's going to be, I don't think we need it. Okay, let's remove all selection, going back, and just slice it and print it. This was supposed to be the single color print, and I'm not going to change anything in here. My speed settings, layer height is going to be 0.16 because of the finishing. I want a better quality for this model. It's a statical model, so this is the only changes that I would do in here. Let's see now in the Bamboo Studio. Okay, I put all the models in here, and first of all, let's change these colors. I prefer, for better visualization, to visualize better, these colors to be more similar with the filament that I'm going to use. Some pinkish color, I don't know, some green as well, and then some dark filament. And now we can change the colors by objects in here and see what we can change. Okay guys, now we have the sliced file for multicolor printing, and let's see about the speed, for example, what's changed. We have for the standard profile 0.2, that's something that I'm going to change as well. It's enabled the option for dynamic overhang speeds, and I recommend you to keep it. Okay, I really like this option because in some parts of the model that I really curled, it's nice to decrease the speed in those points for improving the cooling on these parts. So let's make some changes. I'm going to use the 0.16 profile, and also let's see the extrusion width for my standard profile. I used to keep it uniform. Okay, so I just changed this if I want a resistant print or a mechanical print, something like this. But this is a toy, some simple model that I prefer to be pretty than strong, for example. You can also make this all strong for the joints, for example, that may worry you. But let's see, if you increase the extrusion width, we put more material between the layers, and then it's going to be stronger. I may do this change because we are printing with a higher speed, so it's better to have a better layer adhesion between those layers of the print. Remember, we have in here the aligned option, but also the back, and I will turn on the back. This is the orientation that we are going to see. So in the back of the model is going to be the seam. I will change this as well. The elephant foot compensation, I don't use it. The first layer on the Bamboo Lab printers is really good, so I don't use this. Let's see, I don't like this option as well, so I put not apply. This is the only one wall on top surface. I will apply this just for you to see the difference. So let's check it. For this, I will put the line type and also The seam is all available. We have some extra seams in here because of the multicolor, okay? But I put all this on the back. We just have in the front of the model the unavoidable ones, okay? But why I don't like this option in here? Only one wall in top surface. If you use only one wall for top surface in some regions like this, which is similar to a sphere, this is not going to look so good for in here, for example. So it's I prefer to use more perimeters in here and have the similar finishing in those regions. Then we use just one and we have a more solid infill finishing, okay? For flat surfaces is going to be better. In this, I don't like it, how it's going to look. And talking about this, I don't like to use only 2 walls on my 3D prints. So I recommend you to increase this value for 3. I prefer using more perimeters. And also 15% of infill, it's too much in my opinion. So I will put only 5 and change this for gyroid. I prefer the gyroid infill for more stability on the print. The print head is going to do all the curves from the gyroid infill and not the straight line, which provides us more vibration. So I prefer to use gyroid. On my first layer, I'm using a P1S. This is going to this P1P setting came from the model. I will change this later, but I'm going to use 20 and 30 millimeters per second. The first layer walls is going to be 20 millimeters and the infill is going to be 30 millimeters. I am using a PAI sheet on my build plate, so I don't like to put a lot of speed in the first layer. I prefer the first layer really good and safe, so I expand some more time on it just for be safer. Let's see other layers. I prefer to use 200 millimeters per second for my standard profile. So let's change this in here. Okay, perimeters something around 60 in the smaller ones. The overhang thresholds, that's okay. And I'm not going to change just in here. Gap fill 200. This is not so important, the gap fill, but I will put the same speed. I think we are fine. Okay, let's slice it and see it. Okay, after those changes, let's see in the line type. Now we have more walls finishing the top of the print and also the speed. Now we have some changes in here for the overhang regions, and I think it's for the best. I would prefer to keep this on, okay? And finally, as I said you before, I do recommend to use brim on the bamboo printers and outer brim only, 5 millimeters, that's okay, 0.1 of brim object gap, okay? This is the only changes that I'm going to make. Every time that I see you guys in here, I used to change from a standard profile because I don't know if you are watching all the videos. So if you are in here for the first time, that's why I took the standard profile from Bamboo or my standard profile from Prusa and showing what is going to change for each model. So that's okay. Now we have our turtle fruit and I hope to see your prints after this. I hope you guys enjoy it. Those slicing videos are an initiative from STL Academy, which is the educational project from STLflix. So if you guys want to learn more about 3D printing, you could check our description and look at STL Academy courses. And don't forget, see you guys at the next slicing.